Rainey just figures that if there's a calf there, there should be calf poop close by. A little slow getting it. She literally walked right up to her, looks like a her, right up to her face. Yeah, it is a her. And around her. And there's one of the last three, I believe. Looks like she's doing good. Oh, good morning, baby. Yes, how are you? Yeah, 323A. I think that's the oldest of the last three, I believe. And I thought they'd have these feeders clear empty by now. Mom and I were talking. We generally don't clip pastures because they generally eat them down good. Keyword generally. Well, that pasture this group's on, there's still a lot of tall stuff that they're not doing much with. So she says, well, does the Old Woods mower, is it still, well, yeah, it hasn't been hooked to a tractor in 25 years. They just never use it. It's a 6-foot mower, it takes forever. So I told her, well, maybe I'll just do it with a hay mower. Take me about half an hour, 45 minutes maybe. Won't be able to get everything a little more to get into, but 612D, you might be the one that the bull was after the other day. Ripping the left ear, tagging the right ear, light colored. Then again, it might be the other one. Oh well. Yeah, they even let the bull in to get some of that once in a while. Oh well, that's enough rambling this morning. There's your orb. It's been kind of windy this morning. And there is very little dew, if any. I was going to mention the wind when I started this little segment. Because it really was. It was whistling and going every which direction. And I can still hear it up high. Oh yeah. If I hold still enough, you can see those trees are wiggling pretty good. I wonder how many windrows are left at the neighbors because they're along those trees. Oh well. Get the day figured out. I could just go back and take a nap. Well, I'm going to guess number one isn't going to be here today. Plans were she was supposed to help Maury get some equipment moved. But she didn't know for sure when she left last night. Said she would let me know for sure, one way or the other. Guess what? She didn't, and she's not here. So, I get to let you say hello to a few. Little 713 there. She's one of the regulars in here that you've seen. I don't see the friendly little boy in here yet. He's in here somewhere. And 023, she's right there. So, yeah, they're all hiding in here. It's going to be warm. They'll probably lay in here all day. And I know some people will say, oh my gosh, you need to put some straw down. Well, that's catch-22. Put a layer of straw down. They don't get to enjoy the extra coolness from what is there. And it's not wet in here yet. And they have other choices of places to lay. Yeah, we got baby over here eating. Going to town. Who are you, Mama? 923G. Huh. So, anyway, and that group's all in too. And they know when to come in and get a little snack. Some of them just look like, hey, put the phone away and feed us. Others over here sniffing at the twine going, huh, what's this? Can I play with it? And you're usually not on this side when I feed, but then I haven't got the buckets filled up yet, huh? Yeah? 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 No shot. Eyeball shot. And I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but there's been a lot of noise since about, probably 10 after 6, I guess. Don't know what the neighbors are doing. But to make as much noise as they're making, I'd have to fire everything up around here and crank her up wide open. Thought maybe they were putting a well in or something, but if they were, there'd be a tower sticking up between those trees, and there's not. So, yeah, we'll find out eventually. Eventually, the noise has to stop, right? I think what I already done. I already fed the dogs. Now it's time to fill some buckets. So, then I plan on. I got to take a quick drive before I go cut. Plan on knocking some more hay down. I got to make sure that the one place doesn't have a log across the end of the entrance, because the guys had trouble with people sneaking in. And it's not like you can get a hold of the guy. And make sure there's not something parked in the way at the other place, because when I get there, there ain't no place to stop on the road. Old Curly. How you doing, Curly? And then old alien boy. His mama didn't have a head like that. And she's with the same bull again, so I hope the next one don't have a head like that. But he is a good-looking calf, until you look at him head on. Oh, well. Yeah, I got to get this going, or I ain't going to get anything done today. There, all nice and content. Even over here. Yeah, except for the bull. He just didn't want to get to the hole he fit in, and too busy sniffing butts. Oh, Boomer. Yeah, I don't know what she likes about that spot. Her calf's eating. I can just barely see that. And number one just showed up. She replied to my text right before she got here. She was stuck in construction about 4 miles north of here. So now she's here. Now I just got to figure out who's doing what today. Because I'd love it if she was mowing. But unfortunately, the one field I'm going to be in, I know, has some branches down in it. And the other one may or may not. So I don't know. She might end up doing it. We'll see. On this little piece, neighbor right there, he's the guy that we do some custom baling for. And he was going to cut yesterday. He's got just a little disc mower, no conditioner. He's got a little hay tedder and an old side delivery rake. I tried to sell him a little newer rake. He's got one of those old ones with the big wheels on the front, the two little ones on the back, and all they do is make a mess. And he's got, I think there's 4 little patches there. I have never been lucky enough to get stuck baling it. Dad always used to do it. And last year, number one did it. Year before, number one must have done it too, because I didn't. But where we're cutting with a conditioner, I planned on cutting this a day behind him, so we can do it all together. I don't know. Especially where he's close to the trees. Doesn't get morning sun back in this stretch. She had a bunch of trouble last year. Wet stuff and those inline balers don't jive very well. So she went through, I think she went through 8 or 10 shear bolts. And there isn't but 5 acres there total probably. This stuff don't look too bad. It's got a fair amount of that fennel grass in it. One thing we noticed about fennel grass a long time ago, if you have a field that's all fennel grass, you will not have any gophers. I don't know why. And the place that we originally farmed that had the fennel grass planted in it, along one side there was a little bit of fescue, like maybe 20 feet long and 10 feet wide. And then it was kind of mixed in for a little bit. That's the only place there would be gophers, and they would be thick. The rest of the place had absolutely none. So, anyway, yeah, you can see round and round. It's rough, so I'm going slow like we did yesterday. There is some smooth parts to this, but most of it's rough. Frickin' gophers have always loved this field, but they're not as scattered out in it as usual. But the ground's still rough because they've always been here. In case you haven't been able to tell, a patch of them right here that I'm on. Can't tell there's gophers. And this little place, they used to have some critters. And I don't know when, but somebody took part of the fence out here and cleaned the stuff back. It wasn't that way last year when I cut this. And honest, I haven't been in here since then. Last one in here was the neighbor, because we last, 3 years, I guess. We've been selling everything off this field to him. And then next field I'm going to cut is about a quarter mile down the road. I don't know, 15, 16 acres over there. And he's been taking part of that. You know, I got to watch how much we do let him have. But on a plus side, I got about 50 acres ryegrass and wheat to put in big bales for another neighbor. And we're going to take part of it for doing it. So that will help. And if that all goes well, and it should be smoother fields, should be able to fly while we're baling. And I'm slowing down right here because the gophers love this, and this stuff is always down. That draw is a wet draw for most of the year, so it's always heavy. This is light. I mean, this is probably overall lighter than what we cut yesterday. So, I don't know. Just another one of those years. In all honesty, it doesn't help that we didn't get any fertilizer on this year, but God, at the price of fertilizer, it's almost backwards to do it. Hopefully next year will be better. We can actually get some on and not have all the shit going on in the shop. So we actually got time to get out and do something. So anyway, I'm just going to keep going round and round. It's been a day. Got about another 25 acres cut, a few different patches. One of them, a little tan spot just left of the power pole, you can see. It's one we disced up last year and didn't get planted and left it volunteer. There's a little oats, a little ryegrass, a bunch of annuals, some wild radish, about 3 different germinations of that. 3 or 4 actually. Some was just little ones that were just starting to flower. And some were almost matured out. Everything in between. That'll actually make pretty good cow feed. The only bitch is there's gophers and gray diggers in that field, so there's plenty of dirt in it. And it was rough, so I got this beat out of me. Been windy all day. On the noise this morning, apparently there's a well drilling rig sitting at the neighbors. I couldn't see it when I looked, but apparently later they could see the tower sticking up. And hey, that bunch of cows is all down there working their way across that again. Bull sniffing somebody's butt. Don't know who it is, just a dark colored one. It looks pretty good from here. Oh well. So thank you all for watching.